Hey everybody, KMO here. And let's just imagine that up here is a photograph of the Colossus 2 supercomputing cluster in Memphis, Tennessee. And on the roof, the grand architect of the project, Elon Musk, has instructed his employees to paint the word macro hard, which of course is a mocking reversal of Microsoft, but also has sexual connotations, which is appropriate given the current news cycle. Today is the 16th, I believe, of October, 2025, and a couple of different sexually charged and thus titillating AI-related stories are buzzing around the alternative news sphere and social media. And I can take them in any order, I guess, since I've already mentioned Musk and macro hard. We'll start with Grok Imagine. Grok Imagine is a very impressive video model, and it is one that is generating controversy because Musk and crew have decided to allow it to be spicy. Anyway, a lot of people are angry, upset. Of course, there's much pearl clutching going on. Sagaar Enjeti being a paradigm example of pearl clutching around AI eroticism. But there are some legitimate concerns. And in fact, lawsuits have been filed against Grok, essentially, or XAI, claiming that allowing these spicy generations, these spicy video generations based on uploaded images is inevitably going to lead to, what do they call it? Non-consensual sexual depictions or something like that. Basically, you can take an image of somebody that you would like to see in an eroticized situation and create that 5-second video without their permission. And this is absolutely possible because I've done it. I'm not going to say who, and I'm certainly not going to show you the output, but I've done it. But here's the thing, and I don't know if this is deliberate or if this is just sort of an emergent safeguard based on, the imperfect realization of a goal. But I took a picture from somebody's Instagram. So I have the image taken from Instagram, which I have provided as a seed image to Grok Imagine. And I said, okay, have her remove her sweater. It does it. Generates a 5-second video in which this woman, who is a real person in the world, removes her sweater. So I took a frame grab from that first video where the sweater is gone, and she's wearing like a tan-colored bra underneath. And I say, okay, have her remove the skirt. I upload that as the seed image, and then the next video starts there, and she removes the skirt. And then, knowing something about this person, I can see that the imagined nude version, or nearly nude, she's wearing, bra and underwear, that she's too skinny. She's too much like a fashion model. I'm like, no, she's a dancer, and she's muscular, give her thicker thighs, and, basically beef up the athleticism overall. And it did in the next generation, but then her face wasn't recognizable, basically, as the person. Now, I could tell you who it was, and you could look at it and maybe say, oh, yeah, I can kind of see that. But by this time, Grok Imagine had abstracted from a specific person to a general type, just, a sexy girl of a certain type. So what's the point here? Why is this relevant? I mean, surely it's titillating to mention all these things, and that will drive views, but there's a point. XAI is being sued for providing tools to the public which facilitate the non-consensual sexual depiction of real people. And they're mostly concerned with Taylor Swift and other celebrities, which I think is ridiculous because these people have made a great effort to push their image out into the public sphere and, have done their best to make themselves public property. So I'm not worried about Taylor Swift. This other person, even though, I know of her existence because of the YouTube algorithm, and she's got like 30,000 or so followers on YouTube, is not Taylor Swift, is not a household name, not any name you would recognize if I were to say it out loud. She's not at the same level of being an element in the shared imagination of the culture. But what I wonder is this drift away from a specific, we'll say, character, being on model for a specific character, into just a token of a type, a token of a generic, sexy, hottie type? Is this a failure of the model to hold the character identity, or is it a deliberate abstracting away from specific characters in the service of liability insulation? protecting against being accused of facilitating this non-consensual sexual depiction. Sam Altman has announced that in December, OpenAI and ChatGPT are going to start treating adults like adults. And if you want to do erotic role play with ChatGPT and you can prove that you are an adult, they will let you do that. That leash is coming off. And a lot of people have seized on the fact that, Sam Altman has been raising his profile and raising money for his company by saying, what I'm really looking forward to is AI getting to the point, and large language models from his company in particular, getting to the point where they can do independent, sustained scientific research, not just be helpers for human researchers, but to continuously pursue research projects to advance the state of human understanding to, for example, do things like cure cancer. And now that he has, he's relented and he said, okay, we've been pretty tight with the censorship and we have been insulting many of our customers. We hear you. You don't like being treated like a child. If you wish to use our product for this adult purpose and we are satisfied that you are a legal adult and, sound of mind, you are welcome to do so, or you will be in a couple of months. Not yet, but soon. And a lot of people have started pearl clutching about this vigorously. Vigorous clutching of the pearls. And as I mentioned, Sagaar Enjeti has the mother of all AI pearl clutching morality rants on a recent episode of Breaking Points. Here's a screenshot. I'll link to it. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. The thing is, I'm mocking it as pearl clutching. And because he has presented it as moral decay, I'm inclined to reject his position. And yet, presented in a different way, I would be more sympathetic. And in fact, indeed, I am sympathetic. His argument is that this is just one more step in insulating people from having to deal with the friction of interactions with other real people. And that the more we can insulate ourselves from these types of friction, from these conflicts, from these uncomfortable social situations, the more we can have our psychological needs pandered to in absolute safety and privacy at home with AI, the less psychologically resilient we become. And, he even sort of veers into conspiracy theory saying, if I wanted to destroy the nation, this would be a perfect tool. All right, a family with young children is coming this way, and this video is getting long already, so I'm going to stop here. I'll just say somebody put up this meme, and other people have reflected this sentiment. It's like, oh, you said you were going to cure cancer, but really all you're going to do is porn. Well, here's the thing. We live in a capitalist society. His company's product has to support itself in the present. I mean, right now, it is losing billions of investor funding every year. Eventually, they're going to have to make money. Nobody knows how to cure cancer yet. That is an ambition for the future. We know how to make erotica. So it's not that he's choosing erotica over curing cancer. It's that he's choosing something in the moment which will satisfy his paying customers and allow him to continue to develop this company and their products and the general agenda of moving toward agentic, superintelligent AI, which could in the future do something like push forward the frontiers of science, including medical science, which, for example, could include curing cancer. All right, that is all. Catch you later.